This is Mining Scout on tour in Perth, Australia in March 2018. And I'm here with Richard Bevan of Cassini Resources. How are you, Richard?
Yeah, good, thanks, David.
Good. Well, it's lovely to catch up with you again,
welcome.
Richard. We've interviewed Richard on a previous occasion at Diggers and Dealers last year in Kalgoorlie. And we're catching up with Richard about Cassini. And in particular, you've had some pretty impressive news since August last year.
We have. It's been there's been a fair bit going on since August, so.
And in particular, you've had a joint venture partner in Oz Minerals that has elected to proceed to a 51% equity in the project?
Yeah, we had a scoping study that was running at the time we last spoke that concluded in November 2017. We had a positive outcome on that, and Oz have now entered the next stage, and that is the pre-feasibility study stage. So that stage involves them contributing a minimum of $19 million to earn up to 51% of the project. So we're in that phase now, and it's all guns blazing, and we've got a very busy year ahead.
And do they have a time limit on that 19 million expenditure?
Yeah, so the maximum time frame is 18 months. We're quite confident actually that we'll complete that in a shorter period of time. So that ostensibly runs through to the middle of 2019, but we're hoping actually that we'll come out with a pre-feasibility study earlier in 2019.
And one of the biggest shifts is, of course, that Cassini has been running the pre-feasibility, in fact, the scoping study stage of the project development, and now that management changes to Oz Minerals. Is that correct?
Correct. So Oz have taken over operating the pre-feasibility study. Cassini will still run the exploration funding. So in parallel with the development funding, there's also this year another $4 million of exploration funding that Cassini will manage. But I think it's a testament to Oz's commitment to the project. They're very keen to get in and really move this stage through as quickly as they can and have a very smooth transition from this stage through to the DFS, or the final bankable feasibility study stage.
And because Oz Minerals is now taking over the management of that pre-feasibility, that frees up Cassini to be able to put a bit more focus on its other projects.
Absolutely. You know, outside of the joint venture with Oz Minerals, we've got a number of other early stage exploration projects. We haven't progressed those a lot in the last 12 months because, as you say, we've been quite busy with the scoping study, and that really now gives us the opportunity to get out there and do some exploration work again, and gives us the opportunity to progress those, an opportunity to have a discovery and provide news flow to the market over the next sort of 6 to 9 months.
Okay, and the actual acquisition of the West Musgrave project was actually a relatively small amount of money for a cheap entry to the project, and now we see the value of the project where it is today. It's an impressive development.
We like to think so. You know, we acquired the project back in 2014. There was an opportunity created. The previous owner, BHP Billiton, had decided they were getting out of the nickel market. This project, we were doing some exploration work out in this area, and obviously we were able to acquire the project from BHP primarily because we had a relationship with the community, and we also were able to convince them of our ability to carry the project forwards, which I think we've shown that we've done quite successfully. So yes, it was a very low-cost entry into what is a significant project, and it was also a reasonably soft period in the nickel market at that time, which created that opportunity.
And the Nebo Barbell, is that how you pronounce that?
Barbell.
And the Sukoth project, they're sort of two, if you like, parallel, similar types of deposits. The scoping has focused on Nebo Barbell, and is there opportunity to be able to combine those projects?
There is. I mean, there's enormous opportunity out there. I mean, we see we're in a mining camp. There's currently 3 deposits. So Sukoth, that you mentioned, is the 3rd deposit. It's about 150 million tonne, sort of primarily a copper deposit. There'll be some more exploration work go on there this year, but there are a number of opportunities that will be explored during the pre-feasibility study to add that into the project and enhance the economics. But you know, we've modelled the project in the past, and even if nothing else, it adds another 10, 15 years of mine life at the back end of the project. But I think there are some opportunities. And there's also significant opportunity to find more deposits. So hence why some of the money that Oz Minerals are funding goes into exploration outside the existing mining leases, and that's the piece of work that Cassini's managing.
Right, and the project economics itself, the upfront capex is around the just under the 800 million mark,
yep,
of which Cassini is looking at a probably 30% participation.
Correct.
And can you just give us a bit of pre-warning on how Cassini might fund the development of the capex?
Yeah. There are lots of opportunities for us to fund that. I mean, I think if you look at traditionally a debt to equity split, so we would see probably in the order of 60% of that money would be funded through traditional debt financing, which leaves another piece for Cassini to fund through either equity or offtake funding or royalty streaming, or there are plenty of options out there. I think the key position that we're in is we know that we've got a really strong partner there for 70% of that funding. There are very few of these types of projects globally, in terms of good sulphide base metal projects of scale. So we're quite optimistic, and definitely a lot of the early conversations we've had are around we'd be quite optimistic that we'll be able to fund the project when we need to in probably 2 years' time.
Yeah, and still looking at a July 2022 startup?
Yeah, that's currently what we've got out there. I think there's opportunities for us to improve that. Oz are moving through the pre-fees with some velocity, and we think that there's an opportunity maybe that we'll be able to claw that time frame back over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, Richard, last time we spoke with you, the time difference between then and now, Cassini Resources, if you got in at August last year at Diggers and Dealers, you'd be over 60% up on the share price. That's a great return for investors. You're to be congratulated on that, Richard. Well done.
Thanks, David.
And all the very best for the development, and we will be watching you closely at Miningscout.
It's an exciting 12 to 18 months we've got ahead of us, so we're really looking forward to it.
Look forward to hearing all about it. Thank you, Richard.
Great.
Appreciate your time.
Cheers, Dave.